YouTube? It's your boy RushMoreRick, and today we are reacting to a 4D Shams video, the Preds that society loves. Let's tap in.
Excuse us.
Good job, Chris. Happy birthday, my guy.
Yeah, excuse me, sir.
Bunch of goofy ass. But then again, it is Chris Brown. No glaze. All glaze aside, it's Chris Brown. I see, like, this nigga been having emotions since he was 18, bro. Y'all gotta understand. It's still ridiculous, though.
Being a celebrity at that level has to be such a crazy experience, because imagine that many people following you around, trying to prey on your wealth and success, doing anything they can to attract you, but at the same time, none of it being genuine. That clip you just saw was of Chris Brown either going to or leaving an event and being followed by a multitude of fangirls, women, groupies, whatever you want to call them.
The infamous Braun clip.
This club is where we going, bro.
You know it's bad when you gotta go down the opposite side of the fucking escalator, bro. That shit is bad. Like, Braun, one of the rare ones where he, you know what I'm saying, he wasn't, when he came into the league, he already had his person. Like, you know what I'm saying, he was locked in. So he never really had to publicly, because we don't know what goes on behind the scenes, but he never had to publicly, you know what I'm saying, go through trials and tribulations of dating as a super duper famous athlete. I feel like if he did, he would have had it the worst, because motherfucker, he's LeBron James. He's arguably the greatest basketball player of all time. Unarguably the greatest basketball player in this generation, this current day and age. So he lucked up avoiding the fucking dating crisis that we got going on now. But the fact that you go out in public places as a celebrity, and in order to not even put yourself in a situation where you gotta, you know what I'm saying, talk to women who are like they're literally following you, you gotta go down the opposite side of the escalator. You literally gotta go out your own way to avoid women.
Crazy.
And look at these dickheads trying to follow him. Like, obviously it's you're not even equipped to be doing that. You got heels on and you're trying to walk the opposite way to follow him. And some of these bitches got boyfriends. That's the worst part about it. Come on, man. Look, still trying.
What you saw in that clip was LeBron James going down an escalator that's going up. And he did all that to avoid these groupies. These ladies have no shame whatsoever. And keep in mind, LeBron James and Savannah James' marriage is as public as it gets. They know that this is a happily married man with kids, and they're still pursuing him like this. So imagine what they're doing to the young, fresh, newly millionaire young men who are just hitting the scene. The athletes, the musicians, the actors, whatever field it may be, especially when it's a field where you have a public image, you're at high risk of falling prey to these type of tricks. And just to give you another example of how desperate some of these women can be, watch this clip.
Nah, if I ever go bro, if you ever gotta go somewhere and you literally have to physically hold back your girl from interacting with any, I don't give a fuck if it's Usher. You know that how devious that nigga is, putting cherries in everybody's mouth. I do not give a fuck. You got to leave her that night. You have to. You can't stay. Because how do you look at her the same? Girl, I had to hold you back from jumping on stage from sucking cherries out of Usher's hands. Bitch, no. Bitch, no. That's embarrassing. And she's...
Yeah, that's where the relationship would have ended. And look,
you threw a bra at her?
obviously this isn't every lady out there who's a fan of a guy with some status. I'm not saying that at all. But a lot of these ladies will act super fanned out about these celebrities. But at the end of the day, all they see them as is a check. And even in a situation where, let's say, one of these celebrity guys actually takes a liking to one of these girls, if they're ever in a situation where they could stand to gain some profit or, you know, some financial gain, they're more than likely gonna go with that route. And I don't think you guys understand how aggressive these ladies are. It got to the point where you got artists like Drake pouring hot sauce inside their used glizzy wrapper. This dude was literally afraid that the girl would go inside the trash can and find a way to insert the magic fluid inside herself. Do you know the experiences you have to go through for you to even start thinking like that? That man was acting off straight PTSD. Like, I'm pretty sure Drake has seen a lot of crazy stuff, especially when dealing with these girls. And if you want another example to really be convinced, we have the Omale situation. If you don't know who Omale is, he's an African musician, and he had this concert where this girl who was with her boyfriend basically left her boyfriend to get on stage with Omale. And what proceeded to go down was kind of crazy.
What's in it? What's in it? Tell me it. What's in it? Make some noise for her one time.
This is crazy. I think if we recall this correctly, this is the nigga that he eventually got put on Kai's stream, and Kai put him on like a little dating thing or whatever, and then he gave bro some money. That's not enough. Money compensation isn't enough for public humiliation, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, it'll feel good. You got some bread in your pocket, but you got some bread in your. Imagine being known as a nigga, right? Who got paid some money because his girl left him at a concert that he probably paid for the tickets. Most likely probably he paid for the tickets, and they good tickets. Them motherfuckers is front row. I think this is the lesson that men need to learn. If you want to take your girl somewhere, concerts, ball games, stop putting them in the front row where these celebrities or these people have access to just Thanos snap your. If they go like this and your girl is that type of person, she's going. Why would you want to put yourself in that situation? Nah. Nosebleeds. Nosebleeds. Nosebleeds.
Watch as Shorty tries to throw it back on dude and then he swerves past her. Do you know how embarrassing that is?
I don't think she was throwing it back. I think she was just dancing, and then that's just what happened.
Not only on her part, but on her man's part. So not only is she
she's not
disloyal,
embarrassed.
but she's
They
also getting
for her.
curved.
Bro got embarrassed by that shit. He need whole new face. If my go out like that, I won't leave no trace.
See, the woman. One thing you gotta understand that a lot of women love whole humor. Like they find shit like this funny. Like this, some of them wish that there was them in the situation because it's their chance to do their big one. It's their chance to, you know what I'm saying, to publicly humiliate their man. But at the same time, this is not embarrassing for the woman at all. She's up there having the time of her fucking life, and after she's done, guess she still has a man technically that's gonna put up with her shit and deal with her. This nigga is look how I would have crashed. I would have, cause you're not about to, phone in hand. You seeing what my girl doing, and then you gonna lean forward and look at me like I'm about to hop the barricade. Like these big ass security's not gonna tackle me the moment I even try to go get my bit. No, you don't want to put yourself in these situations. He is embarrassed. This is embarrassing. It is. And the only thing you could do is shake your head.
Bro's soul looks destroyed. I don't even know how he kept it together, because I personally would have crashed out. And now that you guys understand how desperate some of these women can get, I hope it also makes it easier to understand that some of these young millionaires could also be victims. A perfect example is the Xavier Worthy situation. Xavier Worthy is an NFL football player. So basically the story goes, around the time he was getting drafted into the NFL, he hired a private investigator to investigate his then girlfriend. He finds out that she's cheating, goes to his home, and finds her with the dude. And basically as he was trying to kick her out, she fakes assault, injures herself, and orchestrates a whole scene. I'm talking she wrecked the house to make it seem like he put hands on her, when in truth, she's the one who put hands on him. She even ripped out some of his drugs. bro went above and beyond with the proposal. She walking up all emotional. I wonder in that moment if the stuff she was doing behind his back was going through her head. Yeah, not gonna lie, this might be the sell of the century. And all this tells me is no matter how up you are, no matter how successful, no matter how many zeros you got in your bank account or how many things you've accomplished, if your girl is going, she's going, bro. And once she realized that she basically messed up her bag, that she lost her meal ticket and was exposed, claiming domestic abuse was basically her last ditch effort to get back at him. And that's why I'm not surprised. Shoot, I'm a little bit proud when these athletes do stuff like this.
He can do that. He's a kid who's very explosive. He'll take that big hit, hold on to the football, knows how to find the open area in that defense. Obviously, come out of Oklahoma, they schemed to get him the football, so route running, we'll have to transition.
Brief intermission. I'm trying to get to 100K subs, so I'd appreciate it if you like, comment.
That's the only time where I could truly say a woman was embarrassed on like a national stage doing some shit. Cause that clip was crazy. Like it was. And not even necessarily, like you can't even just assume that he hiding something. You don't know. He could be expecting a call. He could be expecting messages, you know what I'm saying, from teams. That's the NFL draft. You shouldn't even try to make that day about yourself by even putting yourself in that situation. You know what I'm saying? It's CeeDee Lamb day. You're just supposed to be there and, you know what I'm saying, just relax. She tried to go for the phone and start trying to go through stuff. Maybe she got a history of that. Thought that she could get away with it on the biggest day of his life. No, sir. Snatch that phone. Go about your business.
Subscribe on this channel and on my reaction channel 40 Shams Live. Also join my Discord and follow me on Instagram. Love y'all. More of these young successful guys gotta do a better job of looking out for themselves, setting those boundaries and being on their P's and Q's, especially if they're not married to these girls. At the end of the day, a girlfriend is just a title. Anyone could wake up any day and just decide not to be your girlfriend or boyfriend. Now, I'm not saying that you can't do the same thing in a marriage, but it's a little bit harder because now there's paperwork, property, possibly kids. Although the guy still has a lot more to lose, the wife could also stand to lose some things if the husband set up the contract in a way that protects him. And I also can't forget to mention the parents who look out for their kids, especially the mothers who do stuff like this.
So the Titans get themselves a big tackle in Isaiah Wilson from Georgia. Came from Brooklyn Poly Prep Country Day. Need a little time to adapt to the heat and conditioning in the South, playing at Georgia, and now he'll...
A great example is Jaden Daniels' mom, and I do understand that a lot of people say that she does too much and that she's too controlling and that she might possibly have a weird relationship with her son. And look, I totally understand, but all I'm gonna say is, at no point is he gonna stop being her baby boy. And when it comes down to it, I would much rather his mom being overprotective about him than him being played by some girl or getting into a situation that could possibly ruin his career. All I'm gonna say is LeVar Ball didn't make the Ball brothers through gentle, hands-off parenting. You gotta understand with the parents of these athletes, they've...
Yeah, but that's a double-sided coin because LeVar Ball, the way that he brought his boys up, it's the right way to do it. But you got to understand the moment that they get older and you take your hands off the leash, these niggas is not about to just dip their feet in the water. These niggas just jumped in. Like, look, niggas covered they full body in tattoos. They getting fucking 30 to 40-year-old baby moms. Mine is Lonzo. Lonzo, he ain't really tweaked like that. He only tweaked with the tattoos, but other than that, he pretty much the same. But Melo and Jello, the moment that LeVar, like he lessened his hand on them, he lessened his parental role that he had over them, and granted he had to because these niggas are becoming grown men. They're starting to make grown men money. They're becoming brands themselves. The moment that these niggas realize, oh, my dad don't got control over me anymore, these niggas tweaked out. So I do respect what Jaden, whatever his name is. I respect what his mom is doing, but I promise you, the moment that she stops, or the moment that he realizes that I don't want you controlling me anymore, that only, I think, incentivizes his situation for him to just go all buck wild, start shooting the club up wherever he at. You know what I'm saying? Not literally, but you know what I'm saying.
Invested a lot of time and effort into their kids to make them into the stars that they are. So I'll never blame them for being overprotective with their kids. That's literally their investment.
I've been training them boys since they've been 2 years old.
Okay, so even before that?
Before that.
Okay.
All my boys were potty trained before 10 months. I give them the ghetto Olympics. What I mean by that, in the living room, I didn't have no couches and stuff. I had a table. Let them jump off the table and see if they can land on that mat without falling down. Very competitive at an early age.
Our thing is like, I want Jaden to date. I don't want everybody to say I'm putting it on record. My son can date. He can live freely, makes his own decisions. However, the relationship we have, he does value my opinion because, you know, when my kids were little, I did a lot for them. So, and my kids saw that. My father, my background, I worked too hard to allow anybody at any moment to come in and just, you know, take it away. So I have a view of what I feel a good person is. And, you know, but my son is 24 and he does have to go through things and he has to learn on his own.
You know, you were very honest about protecting him. You said predators, also protecting him from women who can be predators. And we've seen that all through sports. We see it after their careers.
I think mainly in the entertainment space, whether it's sports or I think it's mainly just sports, really. You get to see that there are a lot of women who have predatorial mentalities. They're preying on the young men who are coming into massive financial success, and it's odd that there is a lack of accountability amongst women. Why aren't there women who call out these IG 304s, these IG models, these social media influencers who only date young athletes? Why aren't women holding other women accountable? You know what I'm saying? Because, like, think about it like this. There isn't really, let's use the WNBA, for example. There's not a whole bunch of groupie-ass dudes sitting and amongst themselves in a social circle where we plotting on she about to be the #1 pick this year. One of us got to get her. There's not men doing that, really. And it's like, if it was, I feel like most men would call that out. Whether publicly, privately, we would call that out. We would address that because there's no way that you late 20s, early 30s, mid 30s, late 30s, early 40s, sitting here waiting on the next generation of athlete, the next generation of star, the next generation of millionaire, billionaire to sink your teeth into them and to take and get a portion of what they're about to receive. I don't understand how there's no women that seem to want to hold other women with these predator-like mentalities accountable. I don't get it.
We see it in business.
And I don't put this in street terms. I don't mean to be disrespectful about what I'm about to say. But I took it as she said, this nigga's slow. This nigga's they gonna get this nigga. So I got to stay by this nigga's side.
He doesn't know what he doesn't know, and he knows football because that's what he's been doing, and he does it very well. And he's been, you know, very acclimated in sports since he was young, but he doesn't know the business world. He doesn't know the predators or the vultures that could be out there, and so he feels very comfortable and no.
But my thing is, nobody does, because like you said, you're a rookie in a professional sports league. You're coming into that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody pops out the wound, Mr. Bitches. It just doesn't happen. Now, granted, there are some high school athletes who, before they get to college, you know what I'm saying, they the big man on campus. That happens. They get experience. They earn their discernment young, whether it be they make a big mistake or they avoided big mistakes. But at the same time, you do got to allow he's a 24-year-old man playing in the NFL he's a quarterback. You know what I'm saying? He's actually good, so it's only going to get worse from here. But you got to allow this man to be a man and grow, to learn from his own experiences. Now, with that being said, there's nothing wrong with leaning on your parents and learning also through them. But at the same time, you can only learn so much. The best way, I feel like, me personally, to learn is through your own experiences. Take the advice, apply the advice, but you're still going to run into some shit down the line where if you're not equipped to handle it, it's going to like fuck you up. But that's how you learn. You know what I'm saying? That's how people learn. You got to let people take their licks sometimes. You got to let people make their mistakes. You can't shelter everybody. You can't protect everybody. because there's going to be a moment where his mom is not there, and hopefully this young man know what to do. Hopefully he out in public and he's like, all right, there's these. I'm talking to this girl. We had dinner and she keep talking about money. She keep talking about, oh, I like this. She keeps talking about the material things. My mom put me on game. A real woman of value aren't just talking about 100%, 90%, 80% material. They're not focused on finances. You know what I'm saying? Especially my finances, as speaking on behalf of like Jaden Williams or whatever, Jaden Daniels. But yeah.
And that not only am I educated and qualified to do it, I'm also his mom.
And you see, mothers like Regina are the same ones who prevent situations like.
We need more moms like that, especially black moms. These black moms need to, you know what I'm saying, be more. They play the same role as a black dad in my eyes. You know what I'm saying? Black moms and black dads are needed, especially at a time more than ever.
Like the one that's going on with Anthony Edwards. Now, I don't mean to speak ill of Anthony Edwards' family because I know his mom passed away, but I'm sure if he had a strong female presence, a strong female relative in his life, she would have played a role in preventing him from getting multiple women pregnant and from getting a woman who has multiple children with other men and is known for her predatory practices pregnant. Keep in mind, this lady is significantly older than him.
I read comments that say, oh, you're a gold digger, or you kept the baby for a check. What if I came to y'all's pages, right? And I compared the men that you have children with to the men that I have children with. And I said, you were digging for poverty when you picked him to be your baby daddy, weren't you? Oh, you kept that baby for an extra income tax credit, didn't you? Or you kept that baby for a couple extra $100 in food stamps, didn't you? Or you kept that baby for an extra Section 8 voucher. Is that why you kept your baby? Now, if that was triggering, that's how I feel every time somebody says, do you even love that baby? You kept that baby for a check. Oh yeah, baby, I'm on one tonight. We gonna talk about it. Cause see, I sat back and I watched y'all in your dirty bonnets, lay back on your headboards or in your cars with the cloth seats. I saw you and you voiced your opinion.
Imagine poverty shaming on the internet just because I don't know much about this woman and I don't yearn to know much about this woman. The only reason why we know this woman is because she's known for having children with multimillionaires. Imagine wanting, like, I don't even know, like, I don't want to speak on it right now. Let me finish what she said. Let me finish.
About what you would have did if you were in my situation with my options that you do not have and you probably never will. How you gonna tell me what you would have did with my...
Like, the only reason that you were chosen is because you have a BBL, you probably got breast implants, you're in the social circles that allow you to be around men like this who only they view you as a fun night. I guarantee if you were a woman of value, you wouldn't just be a 2-time baby mother. You wouldn't be I think you have 2 kids. You wouldn't be a 2-time baby mother. There'd be men knocking down the door to put a ring on your finger, knocking down the door to want to spend the rest of their life with you. She's sitting here bragging that, oh, I'm glad to be an option. You wouldn't get the same options that I have. These men don't, like, you're not an option to date. These men want to fuck you. I feel like that's every woman. Every woman in today's age, there's men lining up to fuck them, not to date them, not to marry them. That's an exclusive club that some women don't even seem to proud to be in anymore. What happened to the prideful woman who, oh yeah, I'm marriage material, or I'm wifey type? No, you got women who are going on TikTok and their main thing to defend themselves against public criticism is, oh, you can't get the men that I get. You can't sleep with the men that I sleep with. okay, congratulations. You don't have the morals and the values to say no. I'm not laying up with you. I'm not having a baby with you unless you locked in with me for life. And it don't even gotta be like a marriage thing, but they're like, you can tell that there was no form of commitment. How bad of a person do you gotta be that a nigga who's 23, Anthony Edwards is 23 years of age, in the prime years of his life, that nigga was willing to pay the 1.8 million of the complete child support up front just so he don't have to deal with you. There's niggas who have children with women who they may not like the woman, but they, you know what I'm saying, they know that they laid down with her, so they're even willing to put up with the woman to experience growing a child. Even if it's not the traditional 2-parent household, they're willing to be there. They're willing to step up. I think it says something about you if a nigga don't want to deal with you at all, if you ask me. But hey,
My situation, when you had a baby for your weed man, or you had a baby for that dude that be robbing everybody, or you had a baby for the booster, or you had a baby.
All right, I'm tired of seeing this bitch. I'm not gonna lie.
All this stuff is on the internet. So one of these days that baby's gonna grow up, see all this mess, and then realize, oh, my parents didn't actually want me. And Anthony Edwards made it super clear that he doesn't want anything to do with the kid, because he not only gave up custody, but he paid all 18 years of child support payments.
This video kind of long.
Limiting him to 6 hours a week. And I know a lot of people always scream, believe the victim, but when you have stuff like the Amber Heard case, and you have stuff like Xavier Worthy's case, and I hate to bring this up, but Emmett Till's case, at some point we gotta learn to be a little bit more patient. For example, I've seen so many comment sections that said, oh, Holly already presented concrete evidence, that's why she got a restraining order. But I bet you guys never knew this.
Haley Bailey did not secure a restraining order against DDG. That is not what happened. A judge in LA granted her what is called a temporary protective order, which is an entirely different thing than an actual restraining order, and doesn't take nearly as much effort, time, or standard of proof as an actual restraining order. In my extensive research was finding out just what the process of acquiring a
Alright, well, this video is kind of long as shit. I didn't want it to bring this long because I don't know how we got from predators to bitter baby moms, but because I don't think Halle Berry's not the same type of woman. I said Halle Berry. Whatever her name is, DDG's baby mom, she's not the same type of woman like the Anthony Edwards baby mom or the other women who are like literally fucking foaming out the mouth to sink their teeth into the newest celebrities to latch on to get a check. She's not like that. So I don't even know how we got here. But I'd say this to say I feel like the accountability amongst women needs to be there, because it's like, why are we not questioning these older women who are purposely going after young athletes, young entertainment stars? Like it doesn't like you love who you love, but at the same time, what they're doing is not loving. What they're doing is taking advantage. What they're doing is grooming. What they're doing is trying to get a payday. They're literally willing to put their body through 9 months of growing a child to keep that child, and they don't even want nothing to do with the man. They just want his finances. Why are people like this? And the men gotta see this, because I'm pretty sure there's telltale signs that the woman that you with ain't perfect. Nobody's perfect, but the woman that you with is clear as day. She ain't the motherly type. She ain't the wifey type. She ain't the girlfriend type. If you can't say, oh, I can see myself dating this girl, or I can see myself marrying this girl, why are you putting a baby in this girl? Have your fun, but why are we doing that? It's your boy RushMoreRick. Make sure y'all like, comment, and sub. Like, comment, and sub. I promise you, all 3 are free. Tap in, binge the videos on the channel. We out. Deuces.